Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac Weather. My name is Christopher Witecki, the Sensei to Sirius. I'm here to help you stand in your heart and march along in life. Today's a special Sunday episode, Sunday, October 5th, 2014. And I'm happy to report that today is a Step 12 day. I call Step 12 the teacher. In fact, remember a few days ago when I had Message in a Bottle as my Soul Nirvana song and I said Sting is a Step 12 Libra. When he was born that day, Step 12 was ruling the day. Step 12 people are natural born teachers. They bring us to places or ideas or philosophies that we didn't once consider. So the Step 12s are fun. They're often my friends, and I always love a Step 12 day because at the end of the day, it's joyful and it's about expansion. So today there's a potential adventure on the horizon for you. But before we surrender to our adventure, let's first tame our brain, shall we, with the phrase of the day. I stand willing and ready to chase after my feelings. That's what it takes. I stand willing and ready to chase after my feelings. I say chase because I'm saying they may take us in all sorts of directions, and I'm willing to chase them around. And our feelings we have to kind of look at as a toddler. So think of yourself as a toddler today, and then it's going to run around something in life, chasing its feelings, what it feels like this and what it feels like that and what it feels like next. So in some ways our inner toddler is alive today, and I stand willing and ready to chase after my feelings. That's because today's serious step of the day is Step 12. And Step 12 comes down to what we love and what we trust, which is up to the 10, and then we add our feelings. We take all that love and trust foundation and we chase our feelings. When you add 1 plus 2, it leads to belief. In other words, by chasing our feelings, we grow and we learn. But today the moon is in Pisces, so part of the emotional chase does have to be or have to deal with letting go of a spiritual past and employing a compassion to ourselves, employing a new understanding and a new sentiment for some of the things that we've gone through and the hard times we've lived. So today is a real day of spiritual healing on top of opening up to new spiritual understanding. So by tonight's sky, I'm expecting it to be rather dreamy with the moon in Pisces and you to be sleepy. Today might be a day where you need an afternoon nap. You're going to find the vibration is pulling you into the subconscious. So let's now look at the ruling chakras.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
With the ultimate vibration leading to belief, well, it comes down to Step 3, I believe. And so really it's our third eye that is opening up today by following and working through the steps. The moon in Pisces opens up the crown chakra, and that is the part of letting go of the past, spiritually, the compassion. And ultimately, it takes this high crown chakra energy to get us to let go of the low red. You know what's interesting about purple? Purple has red in it, right? So there is a lot of root chakra intention in our spiritual life. And a lot of times I find that it is that red in that purple that it's holding us back. So today we're emotionally flushing our purple, we're emotionally flushing our spirituality, and we're also listening for some encoding of what's to come next. Now all of this is the sun in Libra. So all of this is about giving and receiving. And all of our meditation and dealing with every day we've been dealing with is really about changing the way we give and receive. And today, with it being a Step 12 day, and it's 11 steps to serious joy, well, the 12th step is the step where we start moving and marching toward that actual joy. And we really are. It's the sun in Libra. So we're trying to bring it in our life. So if you've been starved, you've been having a hard time, the good news is the energy is coming here right around the corner. In fact, let's take a look at our planet soup and see what God has cooking up in store for us up there. The sun is at Step 12. Now, Step 12 adds to a 3, which is a Jupiter, which is jovial, which is education, expansion, belief structure, etc. 12 is well on our way, and it's a passionate day because of that 2 in the equation. Now, if you don't know, Mercury is retrograde. That's how I like to put it. Mercury is retrograde. That means Mercury has gone retrograde, or like I like to say also, Mercury's gone Freddy, which means that our minds and everything is working inside out. Our technology might frizzle for a minute there. And we might stumble over our words, but there is an undercurrent of truth coming to the surface, particularly in the next 3 or 4 days because of the lineup with Neptune. So with Mercury retrograde, you might want to wait to sign contracts. You might want to wait to have that super important conversation and allow the universe to take out a little bit of a mental trip inside out looking at something else. Now, in today's zodiac weather, I'll sum up where I feel like your Mercury retrograde will lead. In fact, Freddie goes all the way back to 16 degrees Libra. So that means, in essence, we're going to come to a new spiritual point, I do believe, with this Mercury retrograde. And I'll talk about that in the zodiac weather. Now, the moon is in Pisces, so emotions are longing for compassion today. They're longing for understanding. And that's true anytime the moon is in Pisces. We're going to talk about how you are the source of that compassion, but realize that everyone is feeling a little bit like they need some grace today, and that is due to the moon and also what the moon is crossing. Check this out. During the course of the day, the moon crosses Neptune around 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, 1:30 p.m. I looked it up, obviously. And the moon is going to cross Chiron, or head for Chiron, later in the night. Now, both Neptune and Chiron are at Joy Quest 5. That means that at the end of the day, we are changing our mindset, 5, the I think state. We'll be changing our thinking. And with the moon crossing these two planets, we're changing our thinking because our emotions pushed us there. The moon crossing Neptune is the self-compassion. So when it first crosses there, it's time for the mind to just be compassionate. That might be, you might draw someone in, you might get a text message from me. There may be a lot of things that trigger you, but it's about the mind letting go. And then tonight, the follow-through is the moon crossing over Chiron and actual healing from letting go of something. So we're all letting go of something here in the next 24. And then, of course, there's this grand trine going on in fire. And Mars is at step 14, which is a Joy Quest 5, which means we're moving ahead with some sort of idea, and it's trining into Uranus at a Joy Quest 5. You can see the theme here. The universe is trying to get us to change our mind. It's quite a spiritual chord. Mars clicks right into 15 during the day, though, so it is us really changing our mind is the key asset here to getting everything flowing and moving on with our story. Jupiter is at a Joy Quest 7, which means Jupiter is serving spiritual needs today. How about that? And the moon is crossing all that Neptune energy. So it's a powerful day, folks, and it all happens within you. And then the Dixie part of all of it is we are slowly putting down an old ego. And like I said in the previous slide, Uranus is at a Joy Quest of 5. It's at retrograde 14 degrees. So it adds up to a mental change about what we regard as strength or what isn't strength. So in the background, we are changing our definition of strength by moving forward into a new exploration of giving and receiving. And let's talk about that. The last slide, though, that is important is Venus has reached step 7, which means we are giving and receiving what? Step 7, which is what? Intuition, basically. So we are giving and receiving intuition. We're giving and receiving to spirit on top of all of this. And this is, of course, in Libra. So really the energies are very delicate and gentle today for connecting to higher self. So that brings us to the Sensei Sunrise. So I think that the greatest place, by the way, for meditation is in nature. So if you have ever a hard time meditating, really if you go to nature just for 5 minutes, you're going to find that Creator pulls you right in. So why is step 12 the teacher? Well, to add it up, step 12 is the 10 base, which is loving and trusting ourselves, plus the 2 our emotion. And I look at consciousness as additive, like this. It's like basically as the planets cycle around, the universe is pointing out in our consciousness, pay attention to this, pay attention to this, pay attention to this, pay attention to this. And so each day we are asked to go one step in our consciousness, one step higher. Each step is a look at a different state of awareness on the same sort of course. So by the time we get to step 10, we have built an emotional foundation of loving and trusting ourselves about the given topic. So with the Sun in Libra, we, by step 10, reached a love and trust plateau of our relationship to ourself. We all each used a different part of our life to change a relationship to ourself, but up until step 10 we have. Then yesterday, step 11, I was off the air on Saturday, but we put in the final brick of loving ourselves, and today is step 12. Step 12 is where you take that love of yourself and that integrity, and you let your feelings guide you. This is why I say we're going to chase after that inner toddler. Be prepared to chase after your feelings. Because if you have a solid foundation of integrity in yourself, step 10, and you made the 11 yesterday, today you reach out. That confident toddler reaches out and feels out something new. And when the soul, the heart, love and trusting, feels something new that it loves, a new belief is born. Your collective conscious, your conscious understanding opens up. The universe opens up. Doors open up. Your mind opens up. And this is the nature of the universe, the three actually, the multiple of the three, the sacred three, 33 degrees, all those threes. So today is a day that if you love and trust and protect your feelings and walk out there in the world with a solid foundation, then chase after your feelings, you're going to find that they lead to some sort of wow, some sort of expansion, some sort of new moment in the day. And in our daily gong, or today's gong, we'll take that idea a little further after this. Okay, here we are in the SOULMARTME Trading Post. Couple of things I want to point out to you, my friend. For one, if you join our email list right now, I will email you a coupon for $3 off any video, rental or download at SOULMARTME. And I'm so happy a lot of people signed up, and I already gave out the coupon. So it's all working. It's wonderful. And I'm glad that the discount helps everyone. So join up for our email list. We'll always have special discounts. Right now, you want to watch your Megascope because this weekend, this Friday through Sunday, is one of the mega dates that I report on. And this is a real turning point. You want to kind of be conscious. The cool thing is this Megascope will give you full visibility to Halloween. And we are doing a lot of changes. So when you know ahead of time what's going to happen, you are already changing and creating a reality. That's why they're valuable. Now, if you want a little time with me, and I do mean a little, 15 minutes, I'm now offering that for $39.95. The software allows us to book the time, and I've gotten in front of a couple people. It's been a lot of fun. It's real quick, just so you know, but we will answer anything that you have in depth. All right? And that brings us now to today's gong. We were talking about step 12 before the break. Loving and trusting, building that emotional foundation, following our feelings. And that's what I want to talk about today in today's gong, is the following our feelings part. When we follow our feelings, we don't always know what to follow. I find that's true with my clients. And one of the things that I find is people get thrown up or torn up or confused over what feels right or what feels fun. Should I follow what feels right or what feels fun? That's my two fork in the road. Because it probably feels fun if it's not, And sometimes when things feel right, this is what I want to talk about. Feeling right, that word of comfort, all right? Comfort is not necessarily right for your soul. Comfort is what has been done. A lot of clients get confused because, well, it felt right. Right because you spent 2 lifetimes in prison or you spent a whole lifetime married to a person that was abusive to you in a past life. I think there's a lot of deep subconscious emotions in our emotions at times. And so you want to ask yourself on a day today where you're following your feelings around like a toddler, if it feels right. That's the first question. Now, right may mean because it's familiar, and right may mean because it's the right thing to do. Here's how you tell the difference. The way Creator always works is based on Sirius joy. So the right way will probably feel right and fun. Because fun is the adventure. Adventure is the unknown. And if your heart lights up and you get excited, then those are the feelings you want to follow. And if you find yourself between, well, this is what feels right. Well, what feels fun and right? Well, this feels fun. That's probably where the adventure is. And a lot of people just settle for the right because they've had such hard childhoods and stuff that right is so great. Yes, it is. When you've had a hard life, right is nice. But when you've got that 10 in place, feel for the fun. So that brings us now to the fun part of the show. The part where we get to talk about you again, each of you, all 12 of you delicious children. And we start with the step zeros, the Scorpios. Today we're going to talk about where the Mercury is going to hit each of the 12 signs, I think, by the time it goes direct. And when does it go direct? October 25th, by the way. Yes, sir. So for Scorpios today, sunny and childlike today once they let go of sort of emotions around the inner heart. But this Mercury retrograde will be about re-examining your self-compassion. Are you sweet, nice, forgiving to yourself? That's the big question, I think, for you between now and October 25th. The Leos, cloudy and private today. You're being called with the Mercury retrograde to re-examine your compassion in your thinking. Is your thinking compassionate? Are you nice to yourself? Is the tone nice to begin with? That's the question, and it's super important to get that in play. Step 2 is the Cancers, cloudy and learning today. In this retrograde, you'll be re-examining your spiritual purpose of life. Like, am I really doing what I spiritually want to do? Am I in the path I want to do spiritually? That's a big question mark for the Crabs. Step 3, the Sagittarius is sunny nesting and resting today. You are re-examining your self-compassion in society. In other words, are you ever looking out for you when you're out there in public? Are you looking out for you when you go out there? Or are you just looking out for everyone else as that adventurer teacher? Natural born 3s. Aquarius, step 4 is sunny and productive today. You're re-examining in the Mercury retrograde compassion in your self-judgment. So in your self-judgment, the way you judge yourself, are you compassionate in that judgment? Are you understanding? That's the question, really. Step 5 is the Gemini, sunny and professional today. You are re-examining compassion to your heart's experience. All right? Geminis just want to think away the pain all the time. Like, oh, it's okay, it didn't hurt. It's like, well, did you actually take the self-compassion with your heart to bleed and heal and do everything you needed? Or did you try to think it away, Gemini? Step 6, the Libra, it's cloudy and hyper-aware today. You are re-examining compassion to your own personal journey. Like having compassion for what you've had to do, what you've had to struggle with. Basically just compassion for your whole story. Step 7, the Pisces, sunny and cool with the moon in their sign today. Re-examining compassion with personal limits. That means being compassionate about the times you couldn't hold it together, being compassionate about the times it was hard to hold it together, being compassionate about where there were loosey-goosey boundaries and letting yourself be okay and forgive with that stuff. Step 8, the Capricorn, sunny and pensive today. Time to re-examine your own compassion in your career drive. Are you compassionate to what you put on yourself, your expectations? Are you compassionate to your employees, the people that follow you? Are you compassionate in your career drive? That's a good question today. Step 9, the Aries, cloudy and spiritual today. Your question is to re-examine compassion in relationships. And when I say compassion in relationships, I really mean, are you caring for yourself and then showing up when you care for someone? So is there compassion for you and your journey before you agree to a relationship? Step 10, the Taurus is sunny and social today. You're re-examining compassion in your day-to-day life. Yeah. So if it's a hard day, you're easy on yourself. You adjust your workload because it's a hard day. That sort of thing, Taurus bull. Step 11 is the Virgo, sunny and sentimental today. You're re-examining your compassion in your self-esteem. So in other words, like, are you giving yourself more credit? Are you being compassionate and giving yourself more credit for the hard things you've gone through and not lowering your prices based on that? Giving yourself special credit, that's what compassion is. It's special credit, and we deserve it. So let's move on now to our Lightwalker Parade. Turn off our music. First in our Lightworker Parade today, the videos that follow this video, Venus Prime Health, one of my favorites. We're doing supplements right now. And today's supplement that we talk about is garlic. These are supplements you ought to take every day. And Damon explains in these quick 6 to 7 minute videos. I also released an Astro 101 on transiting of Mars. So if you want to learn astrology, this is a great series. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's also on the Mothership. And the latest episode is about Mars in your chart. And like I said, we've got a mega date. Friday was a mega date. So look at your megascope if you have one. Go back and watch it. This is the plateau, the loving and trusting yourself. And I get a lot deeper in the megascope about what that means. And we always say, and we're very grateful, if you're on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe to our network. On Facebook, you can be our friend at soulgarden.me. And if you come to soulmart.me and join our mailing list, I'll email you some coupons for cool stuff like we said, right? And this brings us to the Soul Nirvana Song of the Day. This is the Serious Joy Song of the Day. I seriously think you should listen to it because you're going to enjoy it. Now, first I have to say I wanted to pick a song that that had to do with following your inner child and following your feelings about what you want to follow. So I was going for something with following your feelings. And of course, Mercury is retrograde. It's gone Freddie. So today I am doing actually a Freddie Mercury song, Bicycle Race. Have you ever heard this song? It's one of my favorite songs. He's definitely, first of all, Freddie Mercury is awesome. He's definitely going into his heart in this particular song and singing about how he wants to ride his bike. But there's a lot of philosophical discussion of what he believes he is and what he doesn't believe he is. He doesn't believe in Peter Pan, Frankenstein, or Superman. And there's a real interesting, discussion going on going on in this song about the right to ride your bike. And what does that really mean? But you can feel his passion following this little thing. It always brings out my inner child. I love riding my bike as a kid. It was my only freedom. And God bless Freddie Mercury. May he reincarnate in peace. He last incarnated as a Virgo. So he was a Virgo in this last incarnation that we know him as Freddie Mercury. So thank you, folks. Thank you for joining. I'll see you in 24. Until then, I love you. And live, love, be.